Hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? I will tell you that you're going to hear my voice. I'm a little congested still. I'm a little tired. Um, I burned myself out. I'm not going to lie. I absolutely burned myself out here. So I'm going to rewind the clock 2.5, 3 weeks and kind of tell you. But um, seeing more and more downloads on this one, the infrastructure booklet. It was a quick shot to help you guys set up your company, structure your company. If you get on aaronclippinger.com, you can download this for free. So you can definitely get your hands on that, the infrastructure booklet. Follow us on the podcast, the AC Method on Instagram and Facebook. And then you see some of my personal stuff here. You can always follow me, Aaron Clippinger, as well on Instagram. You'll see some of the Halloween stuff and all of that fun stuff that we did. I try and keep my personal on the personal and business on the AC Method, but follow them both. You'll enjoy both of them. 3 weeks ago came down to a pinnacle of what was going on in my life. And I'd started all of these horses on this horse race at different times, and it was all coming down to a photo finish. Never planned it that way. Didn't know I was going to be doing that, but this is what happens. And I'm actually listening to myself as I'm talking. You just tell I'm tired. I'm just beat right now. We started the backyard 2 years ago. We thought it was going to take 6 months and about $300,000. So we did. We moved 187 dump trucks of dirt off the property, put a big 14-foot tall retaining wall up. It's what they call a soldier pile wall. It's the I-beams in the wood. And then CMU stuck a wall for part of it. And we did that just to make it so we could have a trailer so we could go to the desert. We needed a room for the trailer and we wanted to put a macerator in there. So we had our own dump station on site on the property and all that fun stuff. And it snowballed, which every project you've ever been into does. And you know that. I don't need to go into those details there. You know that every single time you start one, it goes and goes and goes. Well, our snowball turned into the abominable snowman by the time it was done because we had done the wall. And then we said, well, we do want a 4-car garage. So we start building a garage. And then once we built the garage, we decided that we want the retaining wall to match the garage. We want the house to match the garage. So once we stuccoed the garage, we ended up re-stuccoing the house. When we pulled off all the paneling on the house, we found out there was no insulation in the house. We found out the windows were pretty old. So we did all new windows, which means all the drywall got destroyed on the inside of the house. Once the drywall got destroyed on the inside of the house, that means we had to do all new molding, all new paint on the inside of the house, which had prompted my fiance to go one step further and paint all the kitchen cabinets. So it had a whole new design. So what started off as moving dirt for a trailer ended up rebuilding an entire house. Ended up building all the windows, the interior, all the moldings, the baseboards, everything had to change. And when we decided to do that was 8 weeks before our big infamous annual Halloween party. Now we throw this Halloween party for both of my kids' schools. The whole school, the classrooms can come. All our friends come. It's usually between 100 and 150 people. And it's a big event for us, so we don't want to ruin it. So we were pushing. So in the last 4 weeks, so that's that project. That's just that. Integrated Signs had a big push for a bunch of glass panels for a hospital that we got the bid for a year and a half ago. All glass monument signs, 11, 12, 6 foot tall. I think there was 14 glass monument signs that we were building. Project started in 2019. We didn't get permits till 2022. By the time everything happened, we've been building for the last year, working through now with hospitals. You guys don't know that, but there's a whole nother set of plans that have to get stamped out by the state above and beyond any city municipality. So that happened all in 2023. And so the glass monuments were coming down. A lot of engineering, a lot of thought process, very difficult project. In June, we pulled the trigger on buying a commercial building. It was going to close the day after Halloween. So all of these things are coming down to where it needs 100% undivided attention. Now, you know, when you take on a project, it's going to take more work, more effort, more thought process, and it's going to cut out of your personal time. It's going to cut out of your gym time. It's going to cut out of your family time. It's going to cut out of other business adventures. All of that stuff is going to be cut off because we need to spend time on this one specific project. I had 4, all coming down to a head. And so the week before the Halloween party, I was at my place, at my home, at my residence, 6 a.m., long pants on, boots on, t-shirt, hat backwards, shoveling, getting the dirt ready to pour concrete. We poured 8,000 square feet of concrete over the course of those 2 weeks. Found out that the drainage was not set up correctly. And when we had a rainstorm happen right in the beginning of October, I think we had a little bit of a rainstorm in the beginning of October. It filled one of our drainage canals. And as a canal, water runs downhill just like this. It ended up V'ing because the weight pushed down and we didn't compact the dirt enough. So we had to dig up half of the retaining wall and rebuild the entire retaining wall. While that's happening, I'm trying to get the trash, the electrical, the water meter, everything switched over to my name as the building's going to close next week. And then I went to get insurance. Now, I don't know if anybody's been following the news lately, but if you go to get insurance on any building in the state of California, you can't. Liberty Mutual has pulled out of California. I believe State Farm has pulled out of California. All the ones that have grandfathered in, they're going to keep the policy and allow them to renew, but they're not taking on any more states or any more buildings, residential or commercial, in the state of California because we're a high fire zone. And they don't want to take the risk because when the fires rip through, there's just too many houses that go down at once. So for the last week, I almost couldn't close on the building because I didn't have insurance. Who would have thought of that? Not me. First time buying a commercial building, thought it was the same as residential. I call my person, say I need insurance. They say, great. The policy goes into place and 24 hours later I have insurance. So what's it done for the last 44 years of my life? Why would it be any different? Oh no. So here we are trying to get insurance on the last week before the building closes. My insurance company's calling me and they're saying, you're going to have to go with California Fund, which is California's version of insurance. So apparently, I didn't know this, but Newsom scares all the insurance companies way out of California and then provides his own insurance at 3 times the cost. Nice revenue generator. That sucked for all of us. So we ended up having to work with California Fund. They're like, we're 4 months out. Okay, so we can't use you anyway. Went back to another insurance company and they said, we'll insure you if you put a new roof and new HVAC, which we happen to be doing anyway for the building. So we said, we're doing that in the next 30 days. They said, we'll do only a portion of the building. Once you get the new roof and the HVAC on, then we'll fund the entire thing and then cover the lot of it. So there's a part of me, probably $1 to $1.2 million that I will not get back if that building burns to the ground the next 30 days. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate that. Not what I needed on my stress plate on top of all of this. So while I'm shoveling, the insurance guy is calling me. Thank goodness for Apple Pods, those little Apple ear pods, because I was literally calling and shoveling and talking to insurance agents while I'm doing this. We had 4 contractors on the jobs on our property. We had the concrete contractor, we had the pool contractor, we had the tile contractor, we had the stucco contractor, and we had the electricians. We actually had 5. And then me, this is a day laborer, trying to get all of this complete and kind of moved. That whole week before the party, I worked 14 to 16 hour days, crashed, never saw a TV, didn't get any family time. My kids understood. They just kind of were self-playing, doing their own thing. I was just focused on the new commercial building, my 2 companies, and getting my house ready for this Halloween party. I got sick the Tuesday before the party on Saturday. I powered through it, pushed through it, thanks to Dayquil and NyQuil. Saturday, the party came. Actually felt good that day, probably because the stress was coming off of me. We were actually going to make it. We started planning for that party at 11 a.m. and all our guests were to arrive at 4. We were getting stuff down out of our attic at 11 a.m. We were sending my fiance and one of the kids to the store to buy all the food for the party, picking up the party rental items and getting it ready there. We ended up having a low turnout, which in the blessing in disguise, only 60 to 70 people showed up. So it was actually a blessing. It was a low turnout. When I got done Sunday, I couldn't get out of bed. Was not alcohol induced. It was flat out burnout. I was done. I couldn't even move. I was just in bed, curled up in the ball. My body couldn't get warm. I had the chills. My body just flat out told me, you're not taking time for yourself. We're going to make you take time for yourself. I truly believe there's a yin yang in this world. I believe there's a natural equilibrium that just happens in our society, in our life, in nature, however you want to go throughout the cosmos. I truly believe in my heart that if you go tilt too far one side for too long, your body or nature will equilibrize. That's not even a word. You guys know what I'm trying to say. Equalize on its own. It's just one of those things that's going to happen for you, whether you like it or not. So when you guys listen to me and what I did and what I pushed through and how we got it done inside of a tall order, the pool guy got done and we filled the pool 48 hours before the party. The tile guy did not finish. There was a small 2 foot by 3 foot section that was done off to the side that he had to finish the Monday after the party. The stucco guys finished a week beforehand. The molding guys were cutting molding Saturday morning. The fake lawn that's right next to my pool got installed and they finished at noon, 4 hours before the party started. Some of the concrete was so fresh that we had to rope it off and not let any of our party patrons go over there because we were afraid there's going to be footprints in it because it just got poured on Friday. It was an absolute nuts. I was sick Sunday. I was sick Monday. I was sick Tuesday. I got the keys to the new building on Tuesday and had to limp my butt down there to get the keys from the old owner. And I just gave the keys, said, thank you. And I turned around and walked away. Didn't go into the building, didn't have a party, didn't, monumentous occasion for us. Square Quill has a building. We're excited. TIs are going to start. Didn't care. Just limped right back to my house, curled up on the couch and fell back asleep. When you say, oh, I hustled, or when I say it's time for you to hustle, that's what I mean. That's what I mean when I say it's time for you to hustle. That I want you 14, 16-hour days. You get up at 5 a.m. and you're hustling from 6 until 8 or 9 o'clock at night. That's what I mean when I say hustle. When you say you hustled from 9 to 2:30, get out of here with that shit. I don't even want to freaking hear it. That's not hustling. That's not pushing yourself. That's not trying to get something done. When I say hustle, that's what I mean. For small periods and small bursts. I had ended up pushing myself for 3.5, 4 weeks. It was too much for my body. It was too much for me. And I ended up, getting sick. I've been sick for 2.5 weeks. It's the worst cold I've ever had. I can't get rid of this freaking thing. I'm on my 3rd relapse. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. But when you hear the words burnout, that's what this means. That's what burnout is. Burnout is when you literally just can't give anymore. Should you burn out? God, no. That's burning the candle both ends for too long of a period. You weren't listening to your body. You weren't listening to the signs. You got to pull back a little bit. Is there a time to charge? 100%. Do you charge 100% every single day of your life? No, because you're going to find burnout like I did. I'm not 100% better. I'm still sick. There's some congestion in my throat, my lungs. I doubt if I have bronchitis. It's just nasal cold and congestion. That's just where I'm at right now. But that's my body's way of telling you push too hard for too long. Listen to your body. Listen to the signs. I always say push hard and hustle and do what you can. But at some point in time, let's not lie, there is a burnout that's there. Do you find a happy medium for the rest of your life where you just do your 8 hours and go home and that's good? So you find the happy medium? No, not at all. You're never going to get anywhere in life. You're going to have to push hard. You're going to have to put in those 12 to 14, even 16-hour days. You're going to have to push very hard. But every once in a while, if you don't take time for yourself, nature's going to find a way for you. So take care of yourself. Take care of your body. You only got one of those. And see you on the next one.